Hello, I'm just about to take this little mini quad out for its first outdoor flight, but I thought I'd have a look at some of the things I changed since the last video before I do that, because it's been raining for a good 3 days, so if I crash it, there's a good chance it's going to be covered in mud after today. So anyway, what did I do? I have added some zip ties here to support the antennas because I had a bit of a smashing into the ceiling incident followed by a smashing into the floor incident, and one of the antennas almost got completely chopped through by one of the props. I was just testing how the 6-inch props worked, and they work quite well on 3S inside. So I just fixed them up like this, and I found that the edge of this Mobius mount thing here was kind of getting in the way, so I cut off the edge of it, so now it's just it doesn't have that little tab for the Velcro to go through. It's just a plain rectangle, and that gives a little bit more room so that the antenna there is not going to be bumped by this, so the Mobius plate is free to move. I also attached the battery alarm thing that I'm going to use, and I also attached the video transmitter, although I'm not actually using that at the moment, but I was just setting it up to test how it was going to fit in there, and it was such a pain in the ass to get in there that I thought I didn't really want to take it out and put it in again, so I just zip tied it in and left it there. But it's kind of facing backwards because I wanted to use this hole at the back for the antenna mount, and I had one of these extension cables which was kind of long, so I turned it around the kind of the opposite way to most people would be using it, I think. So the antenna is coming out of it at the front, and that gives me access at the back here to the power and the input plugs there, so I can disconnect it if I want to, like that. So for this flight I'm not actually going to use it. I just want to get a feel for how it flies with all this weight on it, and whether, I'm not sure if this wobbling around is going to cause a problem, but I guess we'll find out today. The other thing that I have stuck on already is the GPS, because since I wasn't going to be doing much of a aggressive flying test today, I wanted to do maybe a bit of PID tuning, and also I'm quite interested to see how the GPS hold performs on the Cleanflight with the Flip 32 board. So this is the same GPS module that I had before. I just zip tied it, heat shrinked it so that it's a little bit more protected. And originally I was planning to put this under here, but I did a little bit of checking, and it seemed to me, just from looking at the number of satellites and the strength showing in the Cleanflight GUI while I was holding it out the window, it does actually make a bit of difference to have it under the top plate here like this. Not a huge difference really. I mean, you'd probably be okay to have it there, but it is quite important to have it working properly, and I thought, I'm not, on the times that I'm using it for fast aggressive flying, I'm probably not going to be using GPS stuff. So when I'm not using GPS stuff, I'll just take it off, and when I am using GPS stuff, I'll put it on top of the battery up here, and I just won't fly too aggressively and provoke any crashes, hopefully. So of course up here it works great, works just really wonderful. Put a rubber band on there to just hold that in the middle so it doesn't flop down to the sides too much, and I think that's about all I've changed actually. So yeah, once again I have this space at the front which is empty, and I have this space here, most of the space still. So I'm thinking I'll put the OSD there if I ever bother putting that in. And in here I'm actually thinking I might put the Mobius. I'm already thinking what I might do there is take this pillar out. It's not really necessary to have all 8 pillars. And then I'll put the Mobius in there now that the pillar's gone, and I'll take this FPV camera off and use the little tiny one that I had on my other quad, so that'll be able to fit up above the Mobius just fine, and then the Mobius will be inside, and that will let me put larger batteries across the top here, because at the moment I can really only fit a 1300 milliamp hour 3-cell battery on there comfortably, which is okay because that's the main ones that I'm going to be using, but if I want to use some other ones in future I can't really fit them on here. So anyway, that's yeah, that's it. Still wobbling, isn't it? Wonder why.
Is there anything else you added since indoor festival?
Just a little bit of weight, like the video transmitter and the battery alarm thing.
You don't seem to notice it as much when it's in forward flight. It doesn't seem to be, mind you, it's a little bit further away.
Ooh, it feels light.
It's a 250, man. Light. Nice. Which one is the new motor?
Closest one to me at the moment. Okay, sorry. Let's not do that.
Is that a 3S in there now?
Yeah. I've come over here today because it's 4:30 in the morning, and normally I would get in trouble for flying over here, I think, but at this time of day I should be alright. So yeah, I had a bit of trouble with the EasyGUI Android app changing the settings yesterday, so I couldn't get the altitude hold working properly, but let's see what happens now. Okay, altitude hold going on now. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, that's great. Okay, and off. Okay. Well, that's great. Way better than yesterday. Let's see if we can altitude hold about there. Oh, wow. I guess it's not very windy right now, which kind of gives it an advantage over the other times I was testing, but still, that is a lot better. I think that's the best I've seen so far. Sorry multi-wii, but this is better. Well, I think that's about all the testing of that we need to do. So, let's do the GPS hold test. There's a landmark. I'll just try holding over the third, what is this, third base right here. Around about there, let's try that. Okay, so I'm completely hands off at the moment. Well, the altitude is nice. GPS, like horizontally, is wandering a little bit. That's not too bad. Definitely the best I've seen. Wow. Okay, let's try this. Quite happy with that. Well, that's great. Okay. Let's try return to home. Right, return to home. Test. Where can we go? I'll just go over there a little bit. So home point, I guess, should be the bench that we took off from, and I'm just going to hit return to home now. Hands off. Oh, this is great. Works beautifully. This is all hands off. Oh man. Does it come down? Well, it doesn't look like it's going to land, but that's alright. I'm sure there's a way you could make it land. Let's try over there. Just wondering about the altitude that it starts from. Okay, I'm going to hit return to home now. Oh. Yep, not bad. Okay, I'm going to try the Autotune now and see how that works, if it works. Let's try it here. Autotune going on now. Off. Okay, so that's roll. And then we do that again for pitch, I believe. Now. And off. And now we should be using the Autotune settings. So you just fly a little bit and see if we've we like it or not. Oh, it does seem a little bit better, yeah. It's not hugely better, but it's an improvement. Okay, I'll keep that. Okay, so to keep that, I think we have to land and then have to land and then disarm and then flip the Autotune on. That should save the settings, and then now the Autotune settings will be written to the EEPROM, if I understand this correctly. Yeah, that's different. Okay, I admit that was pretty stupid. I thought I could go through there flying nose in and without actually being able to see the thing because it went behind that panel and I couldn't see where it was. Anyway, let's not do that again. Well, it's a good crash test, I suppose. It looks like it went head first straight into the pole or the panel with this camera, and the edges of this camera are smashed off. It looks like it might still work. but I didn't really like this camera much anyway, so that's alright. Interestingly though, since this video is kind of about this frame in a way, it's interesting that we did sustain quite a bend, and the aluminium spacer thingy bent quite nicely there. And remember that there's a screw going all the way through there from the top to the bottom, so that must have been quite a hit to bend that spacer that way. And it's bent the carbon fibre there a little bit as well, but that will probably bend back once that screw is removed. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. I can still fly, so it's no big deal, but I'll have to replace that spacer and not crash like that again.